Good evening. Welcome to Robert's Reading Room and Reviews. Today I will be doing my best read for 2022. So please bear with me. I will try not to be long on these books, but I will say I read a lot of excellent books for 2022. My first read for 2022 that just was so good and I highly recommend is Will. I just want to say this is 400 pages, but it's a page turner. It's like started off with his father and his brother and all about building that wall. And from there, he just takes you on a journey that you won't forget. His father was abusive toward him, his mother, and brother. And it just took a toll on him throughout this book. You would see his ups and downs. You would see how being a celebrity really is not easy, all the way down to his daughter Willow, and that incident with the birthday party with Jada and how she reacted. I was like, really, Jada? This book is so good. But yes, this is one of my best read for 2022. Will I highly recommend? Please don't let what happened at the Oscars turn you away from reading because hurt people. And I'm not excusing what happened at the Oscars because it's never a good thing to do with what happened. But just read this book. My next best read is a book that was on Obama's best read for 2021. Actually, it came out in Oprah Book Club pick, and that is The Sweetness of Water by Nathan Harris. Wow, I really love reading this book. It is end of an era, um, Civil War, and the end of slavery. You have two brothers, Prentice and Landry, who is slave, and they stumble upon a family by the name of George Walker is the husband, wife is Isabella, and son is Caleb. And Caleb is in the military, and you will see that everything is not what it seems with Caleb. And I just want to say this book was like so excellent. My favorite character was George Walker because he took in Prentice and Landry, and it's like his neighbor, the Martins, and just some of his friends didn't approve of him because they felt like that slavery to them really didn't end of how you treated Afro American. This book has some secrets. Oh my God. Whew. It was so good. And then at times it was sad. All I'm gonna say is get your mind right when you start to read this book, and I highly recommend it. But like I said, it's an Obama pick, and it's Oprah Club pick. Came out in 2021. I had the chance to read it last year. Highly recommend. My next pick is Prince of the Court. Prince of the Court by D. Camille. This author is awesome. I love her. She just announced that she is no longer going to be writing. She has a new journey, a new chapter, and I it's sad to see her go. But this book deals with Michelle Irvington. She is a journalist, um, a reporter. She owns her own media business, and she stumbled upon the face of NBA, which is Chris Hill, and things just start happening, and something breaks out concerning justice, and he gets involved, and whew, it just goes from there. Prince of the Court, D. Camille. My next read is grown up sexy read. It deals with chemistry. A Table for Two by Sherry Lester. This deals with Serenity Wheeler and Gabriel. And they're both successful. Gabriel comes to California. He's got his own business with his best friends in Atlanta. He comes there to look after his sister's home while she gets a promotion and she moves away from part of the California that she's in. And he meets the next door neighbor who is Serenity, and things go from there. It started out real bad, that's all I'm gonna say, but this book was so good. Grown up, sexy novel, romance. It was just excellent. My first read by her, I look forward to reading more from her. My next read is You're the Best Part by Chanel Parker. I just want to say this was my first read by her, and wow, I just the main character is Gianna, and this book, if anything, is a motivation, um, inspiration because of her life and where it started off from. Her grandmother was like her mother. Her mother and father, I mean, her mother and brother. That's all I'm gonna say about that. But this book deal with drama. It's just an excellent read. It's street lit. It's thick. I contemplated when I was gonna read this book because it was so thick. But once you start reading, you can't put it down. You're the Best Part by Chanel Parker. Excellent read. My next one is Chanel Parker again. Feeling Blue. Blue is a dancer who's trying to get her career going, and she's doing it for her career, and things just started happening in this book, and some of these characters, and oh my god, some of the things in this book was really disturbing, but you take it for what it's worth because it's someone in real life that's been through this, going through this, and doing some of the things that these characters was doing in this book. This is an excellent read. I look forward. I actually have bought more books by her. Feeling Blue by Chanel Parker is an excellent read. My next one is Take My Hand by Dolan Perkins Valdez. All I'm going to say is get your mind right when you read this book. This book will have you mad. It'll break your heart, have you crying, just questioning the system. You have two sisters, Erica and India. Erica is the oldest, and the living situation when the main character Silva goes out to see them, but she's a nurse and she's going out on calls. This was back in the 70s. I want to say it was like 1973 that this took place. This is a true story, and it happened in Montgomery, Alabama. And these two young girls wasn't even sexually active, and unfortunately they was sterilized. And I don't want to give too much away, but no meds for the pain or anything. Oh, you just need to read this book. This is an excellent read. This is a 5-star read. Please check out Take My Hand, Dolan Perkin Valdez. You will not be disappointed. But get your mind right before you even tackle this because this is a tough read. My next is The Weight of the Blood, Tiffany D. Jackson. This is my first read by her by herself. I read the year before last. I read Blackout, where she did an anthology with Angie Thomas, Nick Stone, and a few other authors. I can't remember all the authors right now, but this right here is a remake of a classic that you know of with a twist. Um, I just want to say the main character in this book is Molly Washington, and she finds that she has these powers. And prom night, let's just say it won't be the same. These characters, this take place in high school, so these characters in this book, like Wendy, Jules, just to name two, that whoo, you will really be shaking your head with. But again, Weight of the Blood. This is a good book. If you do not like rough scenes, this is not for you. That's all I'm gonna say. The Weight of the Blood, Tiffany D. Jackson. Next up, I have The Two Lives of Sarah. The main character is Sarah. She is from Chicago. She's running from her past, trying to mm, start a new life in Memphis. And I'm just gonna say, she comes upon a family, Mama Sugar, and it's like I don't want to say a hotel, I don't want to say, but it's kind of like a boarding house, and she's there to help cook and take care of the guests that stand there, that's renting a room, that may be out of town and there for business. All I'm gonna say is that she thought she was running away from bad things, but she was just running into more drama, more pain. With Mama Sugar and her family, she had her secrets, and things start to unravel. This book was sad. Toward the ending, I was like, "You gonna leave us like this, Catherine Liddell West?" This was one of my best reads for 2022. I loved everything about it except for when she went and made that proposal to the doctor and his wife. Again, The Two Lives of Sarah by Catherine Adele West. My next is, woo, I read this back, I want to say in the spring of last year. This was my first read by her, and I pretty much done bought her whole collection. Real by Kennedy Ryan. Oh my God. This book is everything. It really is. Whew. This book is everything. It's like a historical, and it's going from past to present. You have Cannon Halt, who is one of the main characters, and Neva Saint. The way they met, and I just loved everything about this book. How he just found her on the stage and just like, I found my Desi. It has drama in it. It has sickness in this book. It has some scenes, some love scenes that's, whew. I'm almost scared to pick up another book by her. That's how much I love this book. Again, Real by Kennedy Ryan. It's everything. Up next, we have Don't Cry for Me by Daniel Black. You never read a Daniel Black? I would suggest you start with A Sacred Place. They tell it. They tell me of a home. 12 Gates to the City. Perfect Peace. Don't Cry for Me, he did not disappoint. This book deals with Jacob, who is a father, a dying father, trying to explain, writing letters to his gay son, and it's historical too. And wow, this book right here had me question Jacob, why he's so against his son when he came down to describing his brother and the way he felt. Mm, this book is so good. Don't Cry for Me by Daniel Black. You will not be disappointed. Up next, we have Punch Me Up to the Gods. Brian Boom. This is a memoir, a true memoir, and I was just floored when I read some of the things that he experienced from his father being abusive toward him, his mother, especially his father, because his father was knew he was gay as a young child, and his mother didn't fend for him or anything. His brother just like, and he's like in and out of the club scene and doing things. And oh my God, please read this book because this is a true story. Punch Me Up to God. You would not be disappointed. You'll thank me for it. It's just an awesome read. I cut off my list, but then I read two more books before the first of this year. So I have three more. Black Clocks, Broken Clocks. Sorry about that. Danielle Allen's. This book was everything. It deals with Will and I'm still mad at the author. That's why I'm looking down because this book had me on my heels the whole time I'm reading it. It's an emotional read. It'll make you mad. Layla is another main character. Layla and Will was destined that they was that couple. Then came Molly the model. All I'm gonna say is when you read this book, be well that it's very emotional. I'm a man and it took me through because of the situation that Layla wound up going through. And then the ending, the way it ended, it should not have ended the way it did. Broken Clocks by Danielle Allen. It's an oldie. I've had it since I met her 2018, but I finally got around to reading it. But it's not old to me, so this is I highly recommend. Up next, we have Scandalous by Nikki Michelle. This book right here is erotica. It's a drama. You have the main character in this book, Saigon. He has a twin brother. Oh my God, Chad. They're opposite, like night and day. Saigon and his brother Chad own their own law firm, so he's a lawyer, but he does another job on the side, and that job is a trip. He meet his match, Dion, and I just want to. I can't wait to see if Nikki Michelle gonna do more with this because this book left me on a cliffhanger, especially about him and his brothers like competition when it came to Melissa and things. But again, this is a novella, but it was so good. It didn't feel like a novella when I was reading it. Scandalous by Nikki Michelle. Last but not least, Monica Walter with When's the Last Time. This deals with Enzo, who is a very successful musician who is, I don't want to say traumatized, but he went through something as a child that I feel like he shouldn't have went through when it came down to his mother and then his father and all that whole situation, and then he grows up. He grows up, and it's like, as a grown man, he just, I don't want to say he's very promiscuous. I'll say that's very promiscuous with women's and thing, and you see the outcome, and he meets the one that really changes him for the good. And I loved his grandmama. She kept me just kiki and laughing all through. But yes, when was the last time by Monica Walters? I want to thank those who support Robert's Reading Room and reviews. Please subscribe, like, click that like button up, um, and subscribe. Please share if you can. I hope I didn't keep you too long. Instagram Robert underscore reading underscore room. Facebook Robert's Reading Room and reviews. Until next time, those are my best read for 2022. Thanks for watching. Good night.